When you sign up for a website, download an app, or enter your email somewhere, it feels like your information just stays there, in that one place. But in reality, that's not always what happens. Today on Zyber, we're going to look at what actually happens to your data after it's collected and why it matters. No fear, just understanding. When a company collects data, it usually isn't just stored and forgotten. It could be stored, analyzed, used to improve services, or sometimes shared with other systems. That doesn't mean something bad is happening. It just means your data is part of a larger system. And that system does more than people often realize. One important idea is this: small pieces of information become more powerful when they're combined. An email address on its own doesn't say much, but combined with a name, a service you use, or a recent activity, it creates context. And context makes things feel familiar. There are also companies whose job is to organize and manage data, sometimes called data brokers. They collect and group information from different sources to build general profiles. These profiles are often used for things like marketing, not necessarily targeted at one person, but based on patterns. Again, this isn't about fear, it's about understanding how information moves. Sometimes companies are hacked, and data gets exposed, things like email addresses, passwords, or account details. That information can end up reused in other situations. This is one reason you might receive messages that already know something about you, not because someone is watching you, but because data has been reused. When attackers have even a small amount of real information, messages start to feel more convincing. They might mention a service you use or look similar to something you've seen before. That familiarity is what lowers suspicion, not because it's accurate, but because it feels familiar. You don't need to hide everything online. You don't need to stop using services. But it helps to understand this. Familiar does not always mean legitimate. Context can be built from small pieces of information, which is why verification is always more reliable than appearance. Your data doesn't just stay in one place, it moves, it combines, and sometimes it gets reused. Understanding that system makes it easier to stay calm when something feels personal.
Cybersecurity doesn't have to be scary or complicated. Here in Zyber, we show you how to make it simple, practical, and even a little fun. Stay smart, stay secure. This has been Z. Till next time.